Hello, and welcome to the Yoga Studies Institute. My name is Bob Serino, and I'm so grateful that you chose to practice with us today. Here at YSI, we do yoga different. A lot of people just think about yoga as the outer practice of how we put our body in space. But at the Yoga Studies Institute, we focus on combining the inner world with the outer world, which is what yoga was originally intended to be. It's yoga that changes your world, not just your body. We source our information from the most classic and authentic texts in yoga, and we offer that to you through daily meditations, through daily asana practices, and through a rich assortment of courses on our platform. So if you want to dig in and truly experience yoga and feel happier and healthier and full of purpose, then you've come to the right place. Develop a daily practice with us and see the change for yourself.
Welcome to the Yoga Studies Institute. I'm Benji. I'll be guiding us through a 30-minute Lady Naguma series. And we're still focusing on the theme of the three primary channels. My mother today told me a story about me as a young child. And she was telling me that I would gather too much wind in my body as a child. And that every time we'd go on a car ride, she would make sure that the windows were closed. And that when I was a baby, I wasn't allowed to be on a swing because I would hold my mouth open and I would gather too much wind. And I thought that was funny because as we talked in the previous class about lung has been a challenge for me through my life, especially walking a certain path of lots of yoga practice and a lot of study. And if you haven't checked out the previous class about lung, I highly recommend that you do so. Lung being an excess of wind in the body. And so this wind coming up in our three primary channels gets stuck and it causes tension, or it can cause anxiety, or, even severe cases of like paranoia or migraines, or feeling ungrounded and confused. And so as I've walked this path in my life, I've had to find ways to help me ground. And this has been a big focus on working with the root chakra. And of course, the element here in the BJ mantras is basic space. And a lot of other systems, it's the earth, right? It's the actual, we think, the ground. But in this case, we're using basic space, that which holds its own essence and its own cause. And a lot of times in my mind, the reason I get lung is because I'm constantly thinking about things, or I feel like I have to do this and I don't have enough time, and yada yada. And so grounding into the element of basic space, you start to remember how much you really have, and you remember where you actually come from. That there's a part of me that is unmovable, that's even more permanent than the earth itself. Something that which even the earth is held upon. I think that's really beautiful. And so today we're going to work on the Muladhara chakra, the chakra located near the perineum, the muscles between the legs, in and up towards the spine, right? And so as we work through this practice, I think it's important for us to just calm down. We're going to do long poses. We're going to just focus on our breath. I'm going to do a few posture instructions, but I really want us to be quiet, and I want us to see if we can release any tension. The key here is to release that tension. Those two side channels have created this knot at the low level of the perineum, around the sushumna, the central channel. And so this wind gets restricted, and it's very easy to collect too much. We feel ungrounded, we feel insecure, we feel like we don't have what we need. And yet we're supported in every single moment by having a space to sit and a space to move to. So come to your mat, Sukhasana or lotus, half lotus. Start to close the eyes. Become aware of the breath. You become aware of the sounds around you. Become aware of where you're sitting. as you breathe in and out, start to focus on the chakra between the legs, the muscles between the legs. And on an inhale, see if you can draw some energy and breath in towards this space. And on an exhale, see if you can release some of this tension, some of this built up agitation. And on an inhale, drawing in some energy to relieve any dullness or sleepiness. Finding a chin mudra, thumb and pointer finger come to touch, hands resting on the knees. Move into the Vijay mantras to help us fixate on this space. We're just going to do the Vijay mantra for the Muladhara chakra. The seed syllable here is Shang, the element of basic space. Take an inhale to chant. Shang, 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 shang. Shang, 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 shang. Inhale. Shang, 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 shang. Inhale. Shang, 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 shang. Continue to inhale and exhale as you start to fixate on this space. In order to concentrate, see if you can ask a question. What is it that makes me feel unsupported, ungrounded? What is it? What is the cause to feeling insecure? What seeds have I planted in my life to feel this way? This is a question we can continue to ask through our practice. Maybe ask some deeper questions. What new seeds can I plant to feel stable, to feel secure, to feel like I know where my place is in this world? Let's come to standing in the front of our mat. We'll move into some sun salutations. Finding a mountain pose, grounding to the outside of the foot, the heel of the foot, and the front pads of the feet. Lifting from the arch, energizing the legs as the thighs turn in towards each other. On an inhale, breathing into the chest. Exhale. Exhale again to maintain an abdominal pressure, finding strength in the lower abdomen. Continue to breathe into the chest, palms face forward. Feel yourself grounded as a mountain, unmovable, where everything upon you is moving, except for you. On the next inhale, bring your hands to heart center, palms together. On the next inhale, hands go down and back behind you. Inhale, arms come up to the sky. Exhale, gracefully coming down for a forward fold. Hands clasped behind the back, nose to knees. Hips go up, feet ground into the earth. Abdomen comes in towards the spine. Exhale, planting the hands, left foot steps back, left knee down to the ground. Inhale. Exhale, bringing the right foot back, finding a plank pose. On the next exhale, bringing the knees down, chest down, and chin down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, pushing yourself up through tabletop into down dog. Bringing the abdomen in, opening up the front of the chest, relaxing the neck. Bringing the heels to the corner of the mat without actually moving them. Inner thighs draw in towards each other. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left foot comes forward between the hands, right knee down to the ground. Inhale, right foot comes forward. Exhale, forward fold, hands clasped behind the back, nose to knee. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, gracefully coming back down. Hands clasped behind the back. Exhale, planting the hands, right foot steps back, right knee to the ground. Inhale, bringing the back knee up, left foot steps back. On the exhale, knees, chest and chin. Inhale, baby cobra. Inhale to the chest. Exhale, pushing yourself up and back into down dog. Inhale, right foot comes forward between the hands, left knee down. Next inhale, bring the left foot to meet the right. Hands clasped behind the back. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, palms come together at your chest. Seeing if you feel grounded. Pushing into the earth, and the earth pushes back. You're supported by your breath. You're supported on the feet in which you stand. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands down and back. Inhale, hands come up. Exhale, gracefully falling forward. Hands clasped behind the back, nose to knees. Planting the hands, left foot steps back, left knee down to the ground. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Reaching the fingertips up, shoulder blades down and back. Grounding through the front foot and the back shin. Inhale. Exhale, planting the hands, right foot steps back. Knees, chest, and chin or chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left foot comes forward, right knee down to the ground. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, planting the hands, right foot steps forward, hands clasped behind the back. Relaxing the neck, bringing the hips to the sky, grounding into the earth with the feet. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, folding forward, hands clasped behind the back. Planting the hands, right foot steps back, right knee down to the ground. Stretch the groin. Inhale, back leg comes up, left leg steps back. Knees, chest, and chin or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. We'll hold the down dog. Exhale, 5. Exhale, 4. Exhale, 3. Exhale, 2. Exhale, 1. Bringing the knees down to the mat, untucking the toes, hips come back, bringing the forehead to the mat. Arms extend outward, child's pose, hold for 3 breaths. Feeling the connection of the forehead to the mat. Maybe your mat is connected to the earth, maybe through a floor, maybe directly. What is your foundation? What is that which you could always turn to? Is it something material? Is it a relationship? Is it a kind of idea or belief? Maybe it's a practice. Inhale up to sitting. We'll come up with our legs extended out in front of us for Janushavasana. Head to knee pose. Bringing the hands to the shin, finding a straight spine. Tucking the heel into the muscles between the legs to put pressure at the level of the root chakra. Closing the eyes, seeing if we can fixate on this space. Feeling the breath move in and out through the chakra itself. Inhale, arms come up overhead. See if you can bring your abdomen in towards the spine. Find a long spine. Bring the hips to align towards the left foot, squaring up the hips. On the next exhale, bending first from the hips, then coming down to either grab the shin, the toes, the sole of the foot. Another variation is to grab the wrist beyond the foot itself. The goal here is not to stretch our leg, but to put pressure to try and knead out the knot at the level of the chakra. We're stirring up all of the things in us that have left us feel ungrounded. In my case, my story with my mother, I was in a car and I was on a swing. Did I feel ungrounded because I wasn't on the earth? I had too much wind. These little things that we experience in our life. And we hold them close to us. And maybe they don't even serve us all that much. So let's see if we can work some things out today. Inhale, arms come up overhead, straight spine again. Bringing the arms down to the sides, extending the right leg forward, bringing the left heel into the muscles between the legs, placing the hands on the shin, finding a breath, closing the eyes, focusing, trying to feel the movement of breath, concentrating our thoughts, active listening to this space. Nothing else is important. On the next inhale, arms come up overhead. Bring the abdomen in. On an exhale, bend from the hips, grabbing towards the foot or the shin, finding length in the spine without collapsing. If you can bring your forehead to your knee, great. Don't let the pose distract you from our point of focus, the chakra. Continue to breathe. See what arises. Active listening to see if there is a insight. Something we can use to cultivate wisdom. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, arms come down to your side, bringing the soles of the feet together. Come into cobbler pose, or Baddha Konasana, bound triangle. Hands intertwined underneath the feet to help you lift and find stretch from the chakra. Trying to stretch the two side channels to try to move prana inside of the central channel. Lady Naguma's practice is full of inner and outer methods that help us move the inner winds and to avoid getting them restricted and to eliminate the blockages of this inner wind so we don't get things like lung. And so we can discover inside of us why our reality is the way that it is. finding length in the spine, grounding the tailbone into the earth. Lifting the tip of the head, tucking the chin a little bit to find length. Shoulders back and away. If you can, folding forward, pivoting from the hips, try to bring the belly button to the feet. Thighs want to go away from each other as the knees draw down towards the mat. Why do we have tension where we have tension? I understand the how. Maybe things happen to us, maybe certain circumstances, but why? Why are things the way that they are? I think it's a fair question to ask. Exhale, release, finding a Sukhasana, easy seat, Chin Mudra. We'll move into contractions of the perineum, Ashwini Mudra, closing the eyes, bringing the focus down to the root chakra. On the next inhale, we'll contract the muscles between the legs, and on the exhale, we'll release, with the release being twice as long as the contraction. Inhale, contract. Exhale, release. Inhale, contract. Exhale, release. Inhale, contract. Exhale, release. Inhale, contract. Release. Contract. Release. Contract. Release. Contract and hold. Hold. Release. Exhale, contract. Inhale, contract. Exhale, release. Take 3 deep breaths. We've just gathered vital prana into the chakra, into this space. Drawing power in. If we're going to find out why, we're going to need to purify. We're going to need to eliminate all the things getting in our way of seeing clearly, of seeing purely. And we do this through twisting, stretching, gathering, and distributing. Now we'll distribute. We'll do 3 small drops, placing your hands behind you. And we're going to pick yourself up onto the knees and then fall onto the pelvic floor. Inhale, come up. Exhale, falling down. Once you've done 3 small drops, take 3 deep breaths. See if you can feel the movement of this energy now moving through the whole body. Let's do 3 more drops. Inhale up, exhale, release. Take 3 deep breaths. Three more drops. 3 deep breaths. Final 3 drops. Option here to come into full lotus. Picking yourself up by placing your hands just in front of your hips. Coming up. And dropping yourself 3 times. Either way, at the end of the 3 drops, meet me in plank. We'll come into a vinyasa to help us transition. Knees, chest and chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or baby cobra. Exhale, down dog. Coming into a child's pose. Inhale up to sitting and come to lay on your back for Savasana. just relax. Feel yourself laying on the floor. Be present where you are. The best way to be grounded is to be present. Not be in the future and not be in the past. Grounded in who you are now. The only constant is change. So how do we feel grounded? Let's try to get relaxed to see if we can find out. Relaxing the feet all the way up to the hips, the whole legs relaxed. Letting the hips adjust as needed. Shoulders too. From the fingertips, up the arms, into the shoulders, all relaxed, melting into the mat. Internal organs all relaxing, abdomen relaxes, releasing control of the breath. Let's take a deep inhale. Exhale through the mouth with a sigh. One more time. Big inhale. Exhale, releasing any tension in the muscles of the face. Relaxing the jaw, the mouth, letting the eyes fall into their sockets. Relaxing the brow line, the forehead, and letting the scalp fall onto the skull. Maybe swallowing one time to relax the neck. What is it to be grounded? Is it to be still? Can I be grounded while not on the earth? Maybe feeling grounded is a sense of prana flowing through our central channel. We feel at peace, we feel at ease. Maybe when prana is flowing through the central channel, we go beyond our afflictions, our negative emotions, our worries and our concerns that take us away from this moment. It doesn't mean we're naive, that we can't do the things that we need to do to help other people and to help ourselves. But if there was nothing we couldn't do about what was afflicting us, then why bother about it? And if there is something we can do, well, then we might as well be joyful and happy about it. I think that's what grounded is. Feeling of support. Feeling of optimism. Start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Bringing the arms overhead, finding a big stretch. You're ready, roll over to your left side and push yourself up to sitting, finding a Sukhasana, an easy seat or half lotus. Keeping the eyes closed and just bringing the inner gaze down to the root chakra. Let's take a cleansing breath and then we'll chant Om together to close our practice. Take an inhale. Exhale through the mouth with a sigh. Inhale to chant. Bringing the hands to our chest, palms together. Placing the thumbs between the palms, making an offering and a dedication to all living beings in this world and all other worlds. May the goodness that we cultivated in our practice be felt in the bodies and minds of all these beings. Namaste. Thank you for joining our class today. I hope you continue on your day feeling supported, feeling at ease, ready to take on whatever the day has in store for us. You got this. See you in our next class.